Well, it's certainly great to be in Zagreb. We've come to from Chicago to Zagreb to participate, of course, in the Festival of Tolerance. And I think it's most appropriate since one of the precepts of the Festival of Tolerance is the preservation of testimony and the education of young children. And that is exactly the reason why I made the movie Refuge, Stories of the Selfhelp Home, which is filmed in Chicago at a residential facility called the Selfhelp Home, which was established in 1950 as a haven or a refuge for Central European survivors and refugees. And in the last 70 years, the Selfhelp Home has been a refuge for over 1,000 refugees and survivors that have settled in the Chicago area. I've become part of the Selfhelp organization, so to speak, by virtue of visiting my grandmother, who was there in the 80s, and then my mother, who's 101, and has been there for the last 12 years. And in all of the years that I have visited my relatives there, I've gotten to know some of their friends, survivors and refugees from either Austria, Germany, or Czechoslovakia, and started hearing stories that I really never heard about. And I'm a child of refugees myself, having been born in Israel, coming to America, and thought I knew everything there was really to know about the Holocaust until I started hearing the stories of the survivors and refugees at the Selfhelp Home. And it was really the first time that I understood what it meant to be part of the Kindertransport or not part of the Kindertransport, the difference between life and death. Going to the haven in Shanghai, which was home to over 17,000 Jews as a refuge during the war. Being imprisoned in Theresienstadt and then going from there on to Auschwitz. So some of these experiences, as well as coming to America or hiding in Europe, were experiences that were really quite unique to the Central European Jewish community versus the community of Eastern European Jews, which was very often the ghetto type of experience. And I realized by listening to these stories that here was a story to tell, because in America, the narrative of the Central European Jewish community is not a well-known community. So we set out to make the film, and during a period of 4.5 years, I worked with my team really to tell this story of the Central European Jews. Since premiering last June at the Illinois Holocaust Museum outside of Chicago, we've taken the film to many schools and universities, really filling the mandate even of the Festival of Tolerance here, because there's nothing more important than educating young people as to the stories of the Holocaust, because the people I interviewed, who are in their 90s and some in their hundreds, are obviously the last eyewitnesses to the atrocities of the Nazi regime. And so there's really nothing more important that I can do, really serving as a surrogate, because these individuals will not be with us for more than another 10 years, and then that generation will have passed. So along from schools and universities, we've shown the film at some 20 film festivals. It's been on public television in Chicago and will be broadcast nationally in the United States on public television as well. So again, thank you for having myself and my editor, Ruth Epstein, here in Zagreb. It's a wonderful opportunity for us as filmmakers and to be part of this larger effort to teach the lessons of the Holocaust. So thank you again.